Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett was defeated to become the Democratic Policy and Communications Committee chair. Big mistake. Jasmine Crockett pulled out of the U.S. House Oversight Committee because she lost support. Big mistake. Why am I saying this? Today, with her interview on CNN with Dana Bash, what she showed is how effective a communicator she is, and that it is very difficult to get a gotcha on her. That is the type of communication person the Democratic Party is yearning for. And that is the kind of person, with respect to oversight, that they need. Someone who understands exactly what the other side is doing incorrectly, but also know how to communicate that effectively, tied to the law. I want you to listen to what Dana, first of all, she was interviewed by Dana Bash, and they spoke about Charlie Kirk and all the things that he's gone through. And of course, she comes out and she points out that nobody deserves what he got. But again, at the same time, he ain't no saint. I want you to listen to what Dana Bash attempted and how she flipped the script, not only to defend and justify what she did appropriately, but then turned it into a very effective call out on the Trump administration, on MAGA, on the conservative movement, the right-wing movement. This was done perfectly and effectively. Check this out, and then we'll take it on the other side.
You obviously feel very strongly about the rhetoric that Charlie Kirk used, that you find objectionable, and also from others in the MAGA movement. As the memorial service for him is going to happen later today, there is a debate over heated rhetoric on all sides. And
listen, whether it's heated or not, the fact is Charlie Kirk should still be here. It should not have been that there was political violence that resulted because of the words that were coming out of his mouth, just like plenty of MAGA hates when I mention white supremacy, which kind of tells you where MAGA stands. But nevertheless, they get very upset when I talk about white supremacy. But that doesn't mean that somebody should then try to find a bullet or try to find a knife and harm me. Not in America. That's not who we are supposed to be.
Well, let me ask you, because I do want to play a couple of statements that you made earlier this year.
Okay. Unfortunately, we have someone that is occupying the White House. And as far as I'm concerned, he is an enemy to the United States. They want to show that they are loyal to this, I don't even know what to call him. I've called him so many things, but this wannabe Hitler for sure.
And to be clear, the president has attacked, other people have attacked you in his orbit, maybe not him personally. But do you have a responsibility as an elected official not to raise the temperature, but rather lower the temperature, particularly when there are people out there who listen to elected officials all over the place who are not well, who use that as a way to instigate the political violence that you are calling out?
I think that my responsibility is to be transparent and to be honest. And the reality is that we are living in a time in which this administration and this regime is not interested in making sure that people understand history. We need to understand why they are so problematic. And so I am using that language because it is accurate language. When we see the consolidation of power, when we see them trying to chill speech of jokesters, when we're seeing all of this, that is a playbook out of Hitler, and I won't deny it. Like, these are the facts. But one of the things that I've never done that the president has done consistently is called specifically for violence. He has said, oh, beat that one up. He has said those types of things. We know that Charlie Kirk was saying things about who should live and who should die. I have never said those kinds of things. And I think that those things are the ones that are really, really dangerous. And even still, some of that will still be protected. We know that we still have laws that are on the book that certain speech is not protected, that it does cross over when you are inciting violence, such as what we saw on January 6th, when you are doing what we consider to be a terroristic threat of some sort, where it's a matter of, I'm not just saying it, but I have the apparent ability to carry that out. But me laying out historical facts, just like they don't want to talk about the fact that slavery was real in this country and that my people were enslaved and dragged and raped and abused, and they don't want to account for any of that. They don't believe in reparations. No, I think it is okay for me to understand history and communicate in a very clear way about why we should feel as if there is a concern. And when we swear an oath, which is what that first clip was, we swear an oath to the Constitution to protect against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And so if there is someone that is evidencing themselves, such as the president, who is going out and says, yes, I will take a $400 million plane from a foreign government, or is engaged in receiving crypto that we cannot track in exchange for, say, giving away chips to Saudi Arabia. No, we absolutely need to understand how these things could cause us harm. Or when he's cozying up to somebody like Vladimir Putin, it's not only a problem for us, but it's a problem for our allies. When you have somebody like Poland that is like, yeah, this is what Russia's up to, and the president is like, oh, that may have just been a mistake. We need to understand what all his business dealings are, even with Russia, because that has the potential of putting us in harm's way.
Now, again, who could have done that any better? To make it clear again, she did not step back from telling the truth. And Dana Bash immediately cut the interview, immediately said, thank you, Representative, or thank you, Congresswoman, and moved on. And you know why she did that? Because what Jasmine did, what Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett did, was to immediately show the dereliction of the media, the mainstream media, not the independent media, the dereliction of duty of the mainstream media. And not only that, but also the depravity of the right. All of our country's problems, from polarization to ignorance on domestic and international issues to a complete misunderstanding of our economic and healthcare systems, are a direct result of a derelict mainstream media that too often bend over backwards to support corporate or bought politicians' wants, as opposed to the people's needs for real information to make their lives better. Independent media is the only solution to inform truthfully and factually. Why? Because our loyalties are to you, the ones who fund us with small dollar contributions and subscriptions. Please consider supporting our independent media platforms by subscribing to our Egberto Off the Record newsletter at politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. Again, that is politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. It's an investment that pays incalculable dividends.